This dude is trying so hard during intimacy. He's focused. And how does he get repaid? His girlfriend starts laughing at him. That's hard to rebound from.
So yeah, she's got a bit of an awkward situation on her hands because she's been dating this guy for about 3 months and she likes everything about him. She thinks he's thoughtful, funny, handsome. He's got it all, and he also has a high libido. So they get intimate quite often, and everything was great until a few months ago that she realized that he makes a very weird and awkward sound right at the end of their lovemaking, of which she compared to like the sound that a balloon makes when you squeeze it, the air out of it towards the end. And so since then, she's been afraid of reliving that moment, so much so that every time he tries to, get sexy time with her, she denies it and runs from it. And when she finally got past it, at the moment when she knew that sound was coming again, she laughed in his face. Yeah. And she could not stop laughing. And so obviously he got jumped up. He was upset, and he's been giving her the cold shoulder for a few days. And she was coming to us for advice on whether or not she should just come out and tell him the truth or duct tape his mouth the next time that they get sexy.
That sound was his deflating ego.
Oh, poor buddy.
Bless his little heart. All right, Abby's got the update.
Hey, Bert Show, thank you for all the advice you gave me for the awkward pickle I found myself in. I decided to take it. Like Bert said, I really want to be in a relationship where these funny little moments can happen and be laughed off even during sex. And I personally do think my boyfriend is the kind of guy who would be able to laugh with me about something like this. So it turns out I didn't even need to approach him. He came to me after a couple of days of giving me a little bit of the cold shoulder. He sat me down to apologize for being so distant and told me that his feelings were hurt when I had laughed at him. He said it wasn't a big deal and he was over it, but he did want to know why I laughed. So I told him. Unfortunately, he didn't find it as funny as I hoped he would. Oh, no. He certainly did not laugh when I recreated the sound he made mid-coitus. I could tell that it embarrassed him even more, and even though he put up a good front, I felt really guilty. He told me that he would make sure to keep the noises to a minimum. I told him that was not all I wanted, but it seemed obvious that this had really taken the wind out of his sails. So that night, I hatched a plan. I initiated, and though I could tell he was a little hesitant, we got down to business. I could tell he was feeling very self-conscious and holding himself back, so I did what I had to do. At the most opportune moment, I let out a very startling noise. I started to moan, but ended up being somewhat dolphin-like.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The night is pretty much over at that point.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
Your sex appeal is unending.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Immediately, we both froze and then burst into laughter. I swear he laughed so hard he started crying. Once we calmed down, he was back to his old self, and we continued on to much success. Okay, bragger. Definitely not the best moment we've ever had in the bedroom, but I feel like we have broken a new barrier in our relationship and can both move on happy and satisfied.
What a beautiful love story.
Aww,
Really
love story for the ages and the sea.
Happy ending.
The Bert Show.